Hello guys, welcome back to my channel Elite Wrestling World. I am your host GhostSaad. Thank you guys for joining me right here for AEW Forbidden Door pay-per-view post-show review. What a banger of a pay-per-view we have. AEW always delivers on the pay-per-view, so this was no different. And we have some great matches. Steel cage match was incredible. Maya World Mercedes delivered, and Will Ospreay versus Swerve Strickland was one hell of a final. So incredible triple main event for Forbidden Door, and let's get dive into it and talk about that. So we started off the pay-per-view with three-way tag match: Young Bucks, El Sky Team, and Bout Company. This was no surprise. Absolutely ruled. The tag team chemistry of these three teams was incredible. The talent in the ring was exceptional. The high flying moves from all these teams were fantastic, and really liked the match and the pacing of this match, and very good decision to start off the pay-per-view with this fast-paced tag match. And Mystico had a great reaction as well, as he always does in the United States. Bucks always delivers in these kind of fast-paced matches. Bucks hit a super kick and Dorada hit a crucifix bomb. Teton was caught on the springboard and Bucks hit the metal driver for the pinfall victory. So again, a very good match. Bucks applauded by Mystico after the match as well, and Bucks are now setting their sights on the AEW World Tag Team Championship. Next up is the Forbidden Door Dream match, Kenny Omega versus Zack Sabre Jr. It's wild that these two hadn't wrestled for 8 years. They more than made up for the lost time, and this deserved the standing ovation. And Nigel McGuinness said pro wrestling is an art form, and that was a masterpiece, and I absolutely agree with that. This was a phenomenal pro wrestling match and a huge challenge for Omega, who continues talking about redemption. So one would assume he is now going after the world title sooner rather than later, and I'm pretty much looking forward to that match. So start off with the grappling and Sabre's technical submissions as well. So both rolled outside, and Sabre applied the octopus hold on the announce table as well. Springboard dropkick and Yushigoroshi connects by Omega as well. So signaling for the V trigger, but Sabre dodged it. So these two going a little slow in the start, but picking up the pace right at the middle of the match as well. Omega up first for multiple knee lifts, and the PK as well from Omega popped up into another knee strike V trigger to the back of the neck, and spiking Sabre with a poison runner for a very close 2 count. Sabre escaped the one wicket Angel and planted Omega with the Zack driver. That looks brutal for a very close 2 count. And both up slugging it out until Omega quickly hit the Snapdragon V trigger. And Sabre countered again the one wicket Angel into a triangle choke. Omega powered up into a power bomb and hit a Kamugeye finally, and leading to the one winged edge for the pinfall victory. So again, a very good victory for Kenny Omega, and he is on to the world title picture now surely. Next up is John Moxley versus Bandido for the Continental title. The Continental title rules really make this Moxley title reign enjoyable, as everything you disliked about his world title run last year and constant interference is done away with this Continental title rules. The crowd really wanted Bandido to win the title here, and he had a lot of moments to do so, but I loved the finish where he knew he had one last shot to try and break the Moxley submission, but couldn't do that. And the performance of Bandido was fantastic in this match as well. So Bandido did his poses early, and Moxley just continuously flipping Bandido off. Slugfest ensures. So Moxley opted to bite the forehead. Bandido met him with the sky twister of the top rope. That looks brutal. We saw Moxley applying the bulldog choke. Bandido was fading initially, but started to power up to his feet with Moxley on his back. Bandido did the sign of cross, ran and fell back with Moxley to the mat. but Moxley held on to the Bulldog choke and Bandido passed out. Moxley retains the title in a very good match. Post-match, Brody King came to the ringside to tend Bandido, but Moxley pulled Bandido to his feet and shook his hand and showing some respect to his challenger. So that was beautiful gesture from John Moxley and a very good match. Next up is Shota Umino versus Pac for the IWGP Global Heavyweight Championship. Again, this was a very hard-hitting match. I liked the commentary, talked about how Umino was John Moxley's protege during his time in New Japan. And hopefully we will get some interaction between Shota and Moxley later in the future as well. So bell sounded and Pac attacked immediately, sending Umino outside with the guardrail. We saw after connecting on a dropkick, both started trading stiff corner strikes. A snap fisherman suplex from Umino got a near fall on Pac as well. Paradigm shift hit by Shota on Pac spiked him, which led to the second chapter finisher for the pinfall victory and retaining the IWGP Global Heavyweight title. So again, a very hard hitting, a very good match. Post-match, Moxley, Marina Shafir came to the ringside to tend to Pac. Moxley got into the ring to face off with his former prodigy. Before anything could happen, Tanahashi's music hit and out walked the president of New Japan Pro Wrestling. Moxley bailed with his crew, and Tanahashi put on the global title around Umino's waist and raised his hand to give him stamp of approval on the roughneck Shota Umino. So again, a very good finish to the match, and very good to see the ace of New Japan in the house as well. Next up is Thekla versus Starlight Kid for the AEW Women's title. Fantastic match. Kid knocked it out of the park in her AEW debut. The added layer of hatred between Thekla and Tara Okada, the president of Stardom, made this even better. And Thekla is the best thing going in the women's division right now. She plays this role so perfectly, and he was able to get an incredible amount of heat for this match as well. So we see Tara Okada shown ringside cheering Kid on in the pre-match. We get 5 dancers on the stage for Tekla's entrance as well. Thekla retreating in the early going, suckered Kid in the back inside, ripped at the mask and mocked the crowd as well. Thekla chucked Kid into the guardrail and punched away before making eye contact with Tara Okada, and then intense face-off between the two as well. These two beat the hell out of each other. Black Tiger's Divine Punishment connects again as Kid went up top and squashed Thekla with a moonsault for a very close 2 count. Cub stop, spiked kick as Thekla screamed it's over and hit another cub stop and get the pinfall victory. Tara Okada looks crushed as a result, with McGuinness saying this is the monster that he created, and Thekla retains in a very good match. Post-match, we saw Julia Hart and Sky Blue came to the ringside with scissors, giving them to Thekla, who ripped the mask off of Starlight Kid and spat in the mask before going out to Okada, shoving it in his face and beating him with it and leaving with the mask. And Thekla just brutalizes Starlight Kid in this match, and that was a very good showing for both the ladies. Next up is Copeland and Cage versus the Dogs for the AEW World Tag Team Championships. So again, this was a very good title defense from Copeland and Cage, and it will be interesting to see where the Dogs go from here. And the Dogs dragged photographers on the ramp during the entrance. We saw Corners just broke the count by sending Cage into referee Stephon Smith. Copeland and Corners had a stare down, but before that, both charged and collided with dueling spears. That looks brutal. Finlay grabbed the shillelagh to baffled Cage, was going to give one to Copeland, and the lights went out. They came back on the Bang Bang Gang are on the ramp. They go off again, and we see Switchblade Jay White in the ring to a massive ovation, lays out Finlay with the Blade Runner. Copeland smirks and connects on a spear for good measure to retains the title. So Switchblade Jay White is back. The Bang Bang Gang is completed, and now we will be seeing the Bullet Club Civil War that happened 2 years back in New Japan. It's gonna be Finlay. It's gonna be Switchblade Jay White. It's gonna be a fantastic Bullet Club war on AEW television. I'm pretty much looking forward to that match. For Copeland and Cage, they might be heading towards a showdown against the Bucks at Redemption pay-per-view in Canada. Next up is the first match of our triple main event, Mercedes Moné versus Maya World Women's Owen Cup Foundation Tournament Final. For neither woman being initially penciled into this tournament, these two completely crushed it. Obviously, Maya World's best showing in AEW to the point where the fans were genuinely behind her to win the Owen Cup. I was hoping World would pull it off, and it wasn't meant to be, and Cinderella's story came to an end, but not without one hell of a fight. I hope World stays in regular presence on AEW television. Maya World cartwheeled out of the multiple takedown attempts, hitting CEO pose to mock Moné. World avoided a corner monkey flip and got another near fall before going up top. Moné cut her off, joined up there and smashed World face first onto the top turnbuckle. That looks brutal. We saw Maya World back inside and hits a backstabber before locking in the straight jacket choke by Mercedes. Tombstone counters until Moné rolled through into a double stomp. Moné hit the three amigos, but World got her knees up for the frog splash. Moné tried to get a double knees up in the corner, but I ate a cheeky Nando's from Maya World. Moné wanted a lung blower, but World snapped into a Hurricane Rana as both trade backslide attempts, leaving World to eat a moneymaker, but kicked out, and no one can believe it, especially Mercedes. So massive chants broke out on this point. We get the massive dueling chants. Moné wants another moneymaker. World spun out into a bridge pin for a 2 count. We saw Moné really tease the tap, but as World kicked back from the ropes, Moné was able to apply the submission, and World was within inches of getting the ropes when Moné turned it into a pin for 2, then hit a cutthroat backstabber to a nasty statement maker, and finally Maya World taps out to this submission, and Mercedes won back-to-back Owen Cup. Moné went up the ramp, posed with the Owen Cup title and trophy with huge pyro going off, and it's gonna be a fantastic match at All In, whoever faces Mercedes for the women's title, and also a great showing for Maya World and star-making performance by her. Next up is the second match of our triple main event, Team MJF versus Team Briscoe. Every time I see them announce these kind of cage matches, I always wonder if they will work, and almost every time they delivered. For a company that has anarchy in the arena and stadium stampede, they somehow are able to make a match like this feel completely different. So credit to all the wrestlers involved in that match as well. So Team MJF walks out with the shirts of Team DC MJF. Bell sounded and Briscoe wanted an early cut throat suplex elbow, but MJF cut him off, sending him flying onto the cage. Team DC MJF continued to dismantle Team Briscoe and bringing out tables from under the ring. MJF and Dorada take turns trying to one up each other, pausing, leading to a shoving match. We saw Briscoe didn't have a backpack. He had thumbtacks as Fletcher was about to take the fall when Doyle made the save. Redneck Kung Fu from Briscoe, but he was cut off by Fletcher. Cassidy pulled out a baggie that said good luck tonight from Willow as she playing soccer mom, and it had orange slices in them. They had Fletcher where they sprayed the orange into the eyes, and we get the first "you sick fuck" chants from the crowd as well. Okada and Takeshita were left alone to slug it out. Fletcher saved Okada as Takeshita successfully fought off Okada initially. Takeshita hit dueling German suplexes on both. We saw Allen hit a cord red one, hit a coffin drop on Knight. Doyle crushed him and smacked Allen in the back. We saw MJF chucked a chair at Briscoe's face. MJF pulls out a dynamite diamond ring, but orders Okada to open up the big bag to reveal Leo Rush to a huge pop. Rush bit Okada's finger, jumped in the ring for a misdirection Yuzugiri on Knight. Allen and Knight went up top as Knight leapt to the cage, climbing to the top with Allen in his pursuit. Knight climbs off to Allen's backpack that was sitting on the top of the cage and went off with pyro like it was a booby trapped, and Knight plummeted through the tables. That looks brutal. Allen, meanwhile, took a huge pile with a coffin drop from the cage, leaving MJF and Briscoe, who finally hit Jay Driller. But Doyle just made the save with multiple chair shots. MJF ordered Andrade to hold Briscoe. Instead, Doyle Andrade reluctantly obliges but lets go of Briscoe and hits spinning back elbow on MJF. Doyle shoved Andrade and eats a low blow as a result, with Andrade revealing a shirt that said "Fuck Don Callis, fuck MJF." And Briscoe spiked Doyle with a J-Driller and got the pinfall victory. So again, Andrade leaving the Don Callis family and turning babyface was huge. Conglomeration did drag the bag with Leo Rush in it up the ramp, so they saved him for those wondering. And Andrade leaving the Don Callis family and costing MJF the match. It's gonna be a massive story to follow. Don Callis is not gonna like this from Andrade, and we will be seeing a feud between Andrade and Don Callis family members. It's gonna be fantastic television. And now MJF will have to defend the title against Mark Briscoe. So Lex Senior is backstage with hyped up bloodied Mark Briscoe, saying he's not wasting any time. He wants his shot on Wednesday Dynamite against MJF, and it's official. It's gonna be MJF and Mark Briscoe for the World Championship on this Wednesday on Dynamite. It's gonna be a fantastic match, and pretty much looking forward to that. And in the main event, we have Will Ospreay, Swerve Strickland, Owen Cup final. One of the best main events in AEW history. These two gave everything they had. Each bled buckets for this, and for a show going damn near 6 hours, the crowd was as loud as ever down the stretch. This was an unreal match and somehow better than their match 2 years ago on Forbidden Door pay-per-view for the world title. And I pretty much liked the ending of this match as well. Excellent video package for both the guys. Ospreay swiped the leg out of Strickland in the corner before a dropkick sent him back to the floor. We saw Strickland started talking trash, calling Ospreay little brother, which caused Ospreay to get up and pop Strickland with the multiple forearms. We saw Ospreay hitting death ground on the floor to Strickland, and Strickland taps frantically, but as referee Paul Turner got him to break the hold. Nana threw in his coffee on Ospreay's face. We saw Strickland is giving a now badly blooded Ospreay a lot of time to recover. Strickland said it's all about the wins, brotherhood doesn't matter. We saw Spanish Fly for the double down from Ospreay, both slugging it out. Stundong Millionaire and Styles clash for a very close 2 count. Ospreay hit the hidden blade, but Strickland no sold and took Ospreay's head off with one of his own. That looks brutal sequence. Ospreay wanted an Oscar but leapt right into dead eye from Strickland for the 2 count. Ospreay teased a style clash instead, swung Strickland into the steps, and that busted open Swerve brutally bloodied. And Ospreay wanted a style clash on the announced desk, and he hit it, and Strickland was hit face first on the announce table and pound of his own blood. That looks nasty and brutal as well. Referee started the count and Strickland nearly broke it out. These two are bloody mess. Ospreay with hidden blade for one, resulting in both popping up and collapsing simultaneously, and crowd goes nuts for that. Ospreay, who hit and turned Strickland inside out with a hidden blade, followed by a stormbreaker and a crazy near fall. Crowd goes nuts. Ospreay into Turner and kicked him low before hitting a vertebreaker for a 2 count. Hidden blade by Strickland, followed by a big pressure, but again Ospreay kicked out, and then we saw that Riders appears ringside, chaining Ospreay up. Strickland hit a house call. Ospreay no sold and looked right at Moxley before popping Strickland with the hidden blade. Another one connects. Then he goes to the ropes and buckshot hidden blade connects for a very close 2 count. That was brutal. Ospreay followed with a paradigm shift, then a Death Riders, then a Tiger Driver 91 to finally get the victory to an absolute massive pop. Ospreay is the Owen Cup winner 2026. Post-match, Ospreay and Strickland gave a nod to each other. Thekla is brought the One Cup trophy and the belt, and then giving it to Ospreay and hoisting up Ospreay on their shoulders, congratulating him before leaving. Ospreay's wife, Alex Windsor, came down to celebrate with her husband, watching as the Death Riders left through the crowd. Ospreay and Windsor walked up the ramp, with show ending with a bloody Ospreay and saying, "See you at Wembley," to close out one hell of a pay-per-view, Forbidden Door. So that was a fantastic main event and interesting road for Wembley Stadium starts now for Will Ospreay, and I think so this was one hell of a pay-per-view, all matches delivered. So pretty much looking forward to Dynamite this week, where MJF defends against Mark Briscoe. So that's the end of the show, folks. Please guys, like and share this video, subscribe to my channel, and keep watching Elite Wrestling World.